Now let's return to our top story and Donald Trump's decision to impose new tariffs on China. To discuss, we're joined now from our studios in the north of England. Peter Gries joins us. He's a specialist in China-US relations. He's also the director of the Manchester China Institute and professor of Chinese politics. Thanks very much, Professor, for joining us here on the program. Just give us a sense of how China is likely to retaliate, because so far they've said, just wait and see and we'll let you know.
Sorry, I didn't catch the beginning of the question.
The question is, how is China likely to retaliate to these tariffs?
I don't see a lot of flexibility on the Chinese side, given the domestic context in which the Chinese Communist Party has based its legitimacy on its anti-Western nationalism. It's unlikely to respond in a positive way to these kinds of play tough, hardball tactics.
I mean, as far as President Trump is concerned, he keeps reiterating that it's all about containing China, especially when it comes to, stealing intellectual property. Does he not have a point?
There's a point in terms of Chinese unfair trade practices, and not just trade, but in a variety of economic sectors. There's no question that there's a lack of reciprocity in terms of the way China economically engages much of the rest of the world. However, unilateral tariffs are not the appropriate solution to the problem, and in fact, they miss the core of the problem.
If these tariffs do go ahead next week, we're looking at something like 6,000 items being affected. How is this likely to impact, the customer, the consumer?
It will impact them directly. This is something that I think Trump has issued some tweets that were fairly misleading. He claims that what he is doing is hurting China and the Chinese economy. But in fact, tariffs are not levied on the Chinese government. Tariffs are levied on the American importers, who then pass on those costs to the American consumer.
The fact is that, these types of trade wars don't really benefit anyone, because it's not just the US and China that are affected. We know that a number of other countries that make these products will also be impacted.
Yeah, the effects will be global without any question. If China's economy is hurt, it will hurt the entire global economy. So everyone potentially could be hurt if this escalates.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there. Peter Gries, thanks very much for joining us and for your
Thank you.
analysis.
Lovely weather here in Manchester.
Thank you.